could you talk about instead of me talking? How about you talk like how we first met?
Sure.
And I don't know what came of that.
Yeah. So we first met. I used to work for Grant Cardone in Cardone Capital.
Yeah.
And Grant has these big conferences called the 10X Growth Conference. And I don't know if you remember everything in detail, but it was pretty funny how like we actually met. And it was like the last day of like a grueling week of work. We were literally in like the last hour of work. I was sitting there like at the booth in some back thing. And I see this guy walking up. I'm like, oh, like I really don't want to talk to anyone else. Like I'm telling you, it was a week.
I didn't remember that detail.
It was a week.
I didn't remember that one.
It was a week of like 12 hours of work, and this guy comes up with his hands in his pockets. I'm like, oh, what does this guy want? He's gonna want to invest $5,000. I don't feel like talking to him. I'm like, hey, how are you? He's like, hey. He's like, oh, I'm already an investor. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, what's your name? And you said Aaron Cordovez. And I had remembered when you were talking to whoever helped you invest. I think it was Gabe, our friend Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, this guy does Amazon and e-commerce or something, or his whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And I remembered the name sounded familiar, and I was like, oh, you're Aaron, blah, blah, blah. And we basically started talking, and then we kind of hit it off right there because we were both interested in e-commerce. Mm-hmm. I had my e-commerce business kind of on the side. And you had told me, hey, like Amazon is the way to go. You make a lot of money on Amazon. It's how you scale businesses. And I think, I can't remember if I had my business at the time or it was just about to launch. That's what it was. It was about to launch because it was in February and we launched in March. So I had never been on Amazon. I didn't sell a product on Amazon. I didn't know anything about Amazon.
Yep.
And then here's this guy telling me like, yo, you really need to figure out Amazon. So that's how we first met. 6 months later, my business launched and I started selling on Amazon. And then
I think you had like already some relationship or some different type of business or something, no?
Yeah, so I had a drop shipping business.
Okay.
I started in drop shipping.
Yeah.
I sold that business. I negotiated 51% back and then started a branded business from that. But when we met, I had never been involved in an Amazon business.
You were doing drop shipping.
And
you sold that. Who sold you the idea of the drop shipping? You remember?
So that was in college.
Okay.
That was me just learning on YouTube, and from my cousin started a drop shipping business.
Okay.
So I think I was 21 when we met. 20, 21 or 22, one of those.
Which is are you younger than me, older than me, dude?
I'm 26.
Oh, you're way younger than me, dude.
Yes.
I'm an old fart, dude. I'm 33.
Yeah. So I hadn't really had a brand.
You were born in 96?
97.
97. This guy's a baby. Okay, so keep going.
Yeah, no, so I didn't have a brand.
Okay.
And then I met you, who obviously had a brand. I think you told me how much revenue you were doing back then, and you were still kind of small compared to where you are now.
That was 2019, 2019. Yeah, bro. With that year, I think we did 9 million or something, 8.7, something in that range.
So I heard that, I was like, that's incredible, because I hadn't made $1 with my branded business yet. Sure. So, long story short, I launched that business for myself, the Beyond Braid business. It did well. Full circle. I left my 9 to 5. Me and Aaron stayed in touch because I helped him continue to invest. We stayed friends. And then I think I was here a few years ago. We were talking more about business and brands, and I finally told him like, yo, like Amazon's the way to go. How do I get more involved in Amazon? So
yeah, I think there was one time, I think you either called me or sent me a text or something, but I think I was like, yo, push. I think this was you. I think so. But I was like, just go into the Amazon, go full in, like make it. That is a way, because there's obviously you also have Shopify. I think at that time you were really looking at going to more just the Shopify.
Yeah, that's all I knew, because dropshipping was through Shopify, and my specialty is Facebook and Instagram ads. Yeah. Amazon I had no idea what the whole Amazon landscape was. Yeah.
So you're like, good, I'm gonna, I guess you decided to dive into Amazon.
Yeah, so we started.
You would do it
when we launched,
as opposed to before you weren't gonna do it, or what?
No, the game plan for that brand Beyond Braid when it launched was just Facebook and Instagram ads. I had it ready, turned it on, was doing great. It was first day was like $1,000 a day, next day was $2,000 a day, and the first week we're doing like $5,000 a day. So because I had that avenue mastered of creating ads, getting people to go to my website and buy. So I was like, okay, once we did that for a few months and it was kind of not automated, but it was running, I was looking at other sales channels, and always in the back of my mind, it was like Amazon. Yeah. So I just put the products on Amazon, didn't even do FBA, just literally created listings and did all FBM. And I just started learning the Amazon game slowly, right? PPC. I hired an agency for PPC because I didn't even try to learn it. But he's like, hey, you got to get some of your best sellers in Prime, because that's the only way you're ever going to grow on Amazon.
Good advice.
It was just little things like that, right? Creating A+ content, getting your brand on Amazon, like all those things. So it's been like a few years of really learning Amazon. And now I launched this brand, Professor Pickleball. And in 5.5 months, we did 0 to 1 million on both channels for the pickleball brand. So
brilliant.
pretty
Amazing.
cool. Yeah. That kind of proved to me that I'm like, okay, I think I might know what I'm doing a little bit. Maybe the first one was lucky. This one, maybe I know what I'm
as you
doing
do more and more, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's going to
it's
happen.
been pretty cool.